Hello. So, this is lecture 3 of the series Special Relativity, and the topic is simultaneity. So, let us start. Before moving towards simultaneity, let us understand what simultaneous events mean. So, the events happening at the same time are called as simultaneous events. Let us go back a little in the time of Galileo. So, in Galileo's relativity, time was not considered as a coordinate, which means that each and every observer would assign the same time coordinate to an event irrespective of his frame of reference. But in Einstein's special theory of relativity, time is considered as a coordinate, and each and every observer therefore assigns a different time coordinate depending on his frame of reference to the particular event. So, in today's lecture, we'll be understanding the meaning of the statement that is simultaneity is a relative concept. So, let us elaborate this statement. It basically means if two events are simultaneous for an observer, they might not be simultaneous for another observer. So, let us see how. It seems to be miraculous, but let us see how Einstein came up with it. So, we have this equation del t prime is equal to del t minus u del x by c square over under root 1 minus u square by c square. This is nothing but the Lorentz transformation for the time differences between two events. And if you don't know about this equation, you can look about it in lecture 2 of the series Special Relativity. The link will be given in the description. So, as usual, we need two frames of reference. This S frame of reference, and let us consider that I am in S frame of reference and S prime frame of reference, and let us consider that you are in S prime frame of reference. So this is str, and therefore we have the freedom to assign each and every event with different time coordinates, as t is considered now as a coordinate. So I in this S frame observe two events A and B. I assign the time coordinate as t1 for the event A and time coordinate t2 for event B. Similarly, you assign the time coordinate t1 prime for event A and t2 prime for event B. For me, in my frame, the spatial difference between A and B, events A and B, is del x. Okay. So, over here, we are considering that this S prime frame is moving with relative velocity u with respect to S in the direction of x. Therefore, by symmetric consequences, there are no changes in the perpendicular directions, that is y prime is equal to y and z prime is equal to z. Moving further. So, in S frame, I define del t as the time difference between the two events, that is t2 minus t1, and you define del t prime as t2 prime minus t1 prime, which is the time difference between the two events in your frame of reference. So, let us consider the case where the two events A and B are simultaneous for me. That is, simultaneous means those events occur at the same time for me. Therefore, T2 is equal to T1. So, we have T2 is equal to T1. And if T2 is equal to T1, then in my frame, del T is equal to 0, as the events happen at the same time. But now, in your frame, let us see what happens to del T prime, which is the time difference between the two events for you. So, using this Lorentz transformation for time differences, we have del T prime is equal to del T minus u del x by c square over under root 1 minus u square by c square. And substituting del T is equal to 0 in this equation, we get del T prime is equal to minus of u del x by c square over under root 1 minus u square by c square. So, we can see over here that even if del t is equal to 0, del t prime is not equal to 0. And if del t prime is not equal to 0, then t2 prime is not equal to t1 prime, which means that even if the events are simultaneous for you, even if the events are simultaneous for me, then the events might not be simultaneous for you. that is the events for observer in S prime frame, which is U, are not simultaneous. So, what is the case when the events are simultaneous for any observer? So, that is the exceptional case, which is over here. If the two events occur at the same time and at the same place, if the two events occur at same time and at same place. So, if for me the events are occurring at the same time and at same place, so here same time means this del t is equal to 0, and at same place means del x is also equal to 0. So, if two events occur at same time and same place and we have del t and del x is equal to 0, so the numerator over here goes to 0 and we have del t prime is also equal to 0. So, if two events occur at same time and same place, those events are simultaneous for everybody. But if the two events do not occur at the same place, they might be simultaneous for one observer but not simultaneous for another observer. So, thus simultaneity. Now, this simultaneity means the act of two events being simultaneous is not absolute. It is observer dependent. It is observer dependent. So, in layman's language, I can state it as what's right now for me is not right now for you. So, if the two events are simultaneous for me, they might not be simultaneous for you, and thus the simultaneity, which was an absolute concept in Galileo's relativity, is now a relative concept, that is observer dependent. So, the two events being simultaneous or not simultaneous depends on the observer and the frame of reference he is in. So, let us understand this concept of simultaneity through a thought experiment. So, this was a thought experiment by Einstein. So, sorry for my diagram skills. So, we have a train over here. So, this is our train and it is moving to the right with velocity v, some constant velocity v. And this train is ideal train, that is we have no jerks. We have no jerks. And we'll also consider that this train is made up of glass, and this glass is also very different kind of glass. Now, this glass, the train which is made up of it, is such that an observer who is outside the train, that is this observer, can see what is happening inside the train, but the observer who is inside the train, that is this observer, cannot see what is happening outside the train. Okay, so this is our train, and we have an experimental setup inside this train, which is as follows. So in the center of the train we have this light source S0, and at the two ends we have two explosives. This is explosive 1 and this is explosive 2. Now, these explosives are such that when the light emitted by this source S0 reaches these two explosives, an explosion is triggered and an explosion occurs. Okay, so this is the experimental setup. Now, let us perform this experiment by switching on the light source, and let us see it from the point of view of an observer S. So, the observer S is inside the train. The observer S is inside the train, and let us see what does he observe. So, this observer is inside the train and the train is moving with constant velocity and there are no jerks, and also this observer can't see what is happening outside. So, he'll consider as if he is at rest. So, he'll assume that he himself will assume that he is at rest. So, he is at rest and we switch on this light source, and the light travels towards explosive A and towards explosive B. Now, what happens? As the light source is at the center, the light reaches the two explosives at the same time. And as the light reaches the two explosives at the same time, the explosions also occur at same time. Therefore, according to observer S, explosions happen at same time. Okay. Now, let us see this experiment from the point of view of an observer who is on the platform, that is an observer S prime. Okay. We'll get a conclusion that explosion at A happens first and explosion at B happens later. So let us see how. What happens actually for observer S prime. Now, we have this observer S prime who is on the platform and the train is moving towards right with constant velocity v. So let us consider that the train has shifted by some amount. So first the position of train was given by this PQRS and now the train has shifted to the position P prime, Q prime, R prime and S prime. Okay. Now let us perform the same experiment. Okay. So these are the explosives in the train. Okay. Yes. So the source is emitting light in both the directions. Okay. So when the train moves towards the right, this end A seems to move towards the light ray, and this B seems to move away from the light ray. Okay, the end A moves towards the light ray and the end B moves away from the light ray. Okay, and here we are going to use an important concept, that is postulate 2 of Einstein's relativity, that is speed of light c is a constant and it does not depend on the source velocity and it does not depend also on the observer's velocity. It is an absolute constant. It does not change for anybody. So c is a constant. Now, if speed of light is constant and the train is moving towards right, so end A seems to approach the light source and end B seems to move away from the light source. Therefore, the light which is emitted by this source will reach the end A first and end B later. Therefore, according to an observer S prime who sees this end A approaching and end B moving away from the light source, the explosion at A happens first and the explosion at B happens later. And this is just because this observer S prime observes this end A approaching to light source and this end B moving away from the light source. Therefore, for S prime, the explosion at A happens first and explosion at B happens later. Therefore, as we have seen over here, the two explosions, these two explosions 1 and 2 were simultaneous, that is they happened at the same time for S, but for S prime the explosion at A happened first and the explosion at B happened second, that is after A. Therefore, the events of explosion are simultaneous for S but not simultaneous for S prime, and thus simultaneity is a relative concept. The act of events being simultaneous depends on the observer and his frame of reference. Thank you.